Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start with sharing with you research, something I'm currently on in my studies. I feel this is important and I think it will be helpful sharing it with you as well. And a Harvard study found that older adults revealed that quality relationship rather than material sources are more crucial for happiness. This suggests that younger people's perception of, materials, this suggests that younger people's perception of aging, what is good, what is beneficial when I get old, what can I do, what would be helpful later down the line may evolve because at the moment the focus is more on material success and on finance, which even though those things are important, but relationships has been found to be very crucial over the long time, or in the long run, in the mental health or well-being of individuals. And so the mindset of younger people, this can help them, of us younger people, this can help shift our focus to what is most beneficial, where to focus our energy more, even while we're going after finance and material sources, which isn't bad. So the reason why I had to quote this study particularly is because I want to talk about relationship and particularly on mindsets to avoid for a healthy, committed relationship. When I'm talking about relationship here, I mean romantic relationship. And of course, my focus is primarily heterosexual relationship. So what are some of the mindsets that is very helpful that you avoid? Knowing this mindset is going to help you avoid when you're going into this healthy committed relationship. Now you've seen that even research has found that quality relationship on the long run is even more beneficial for us than the material sources, the finance that most of us are all after, and most of the younger adults, most of us are usually after. So now this video today is going to be most beneficial. It's going to be very beneficial to some of us who are still in that decisive stage. You're still deciding who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. However, if you are married, you will also find this video interesting, and I really encourage you to stick till the end, because some of the things I'll be sharing today is going to be something maybe you already know, a reminder can help you. Some also can be something that you haven't really considered that you might want to consider, but it is very helpful even in the romantic relationship. And primarily, most of the things I share is from maybe research, and sorry, is from research, a little bit from personal experience, but mostly from research. My studies are basically around mental health, relationship, and all of this. So it's basically from that. So I experienced just a little, and will be just, you might not hear it so much, and you might be wondering, experience? Yes, at least I have I have a little bit, maybe 4 years marriage experience. I'm still counting by God's grace. So I know some of us have been in relationship for a very long time, and I do respect that. Of course, I'm still learning, and even though I clock 40 years anniversary, whatever, I'll still be learning. There's still room. So, and that's why I had to let you know that yes, of course, I've got a little experience in marriage, but most of the things I'll be sharing is primarily from studies, from research. Okay, so now before we get into it, I'm Godiva, and if you're new to the channel, what we talk on is faith, relationship, and mental well-being. And again, it's good I add to it beyond research and maybe a little bit of my experience. Most of my whatever I share with you usually come mostly from research and the scripture, the Bible. Yeah, mostly it will always come from this both. Then just a little sometimes from personal experience. Okay, so, and I'm a counselor. Okay, all right, so let's get straight to it. Like we know it, relationship is a beautiful thing. Particularly romantic relationship is a beautiful thing, especially when you've got it right when you've got it with the right person is very beautiful. There are hurdles, yes, of course, there are hurdles, there are challenges, there are difficult time when you feel like, oh, but it is a beautiful experience. Now, what are some of the mindset? There are some, like I mentioned, I'm a therapist, so I'm also a couple counselor. I work with couples and all of that, and individuals as well. So there are certain, both from studies, experience, work, and all of that. There are mindsets that used to be very deadly, that is very harmful, you know, individuals might have, people might have, especially when it comes to relationship. And that mindset is, thinking that things will be rosy. Yes, it might not be bluntly thinking that things will be all rosy, but the thing is, that feeling, that subtle feeling of, okay, it's beautiful, during the dating phase, during the courting phase, there are no necessarily big challenges during that time. So sometimes, even though the couples might acknowledge that, yeah, we're not expecting it to be all rosy, but deep down there, there's that feeling of, yeah, we're going to carry this on. And sorry, we're not necessarily going to experience this some of the reality, differences clashing, real challenge coming to play. So that is what I mean by thinking it will be all rosy. And thinking this or having this mindset of marriage as a fairy tale, don't get it wrong. Marriage is absolutely beautiful. It's very beautiful. However, having the mindset that it's all a fairy tale is something that's automatically made for you, and you just go into it just to enjoy. So it's just more like a bed that's already dressed. Marriage is like a very good bed. I don't know how you love dressing your bed, but just imagine the way you prefer it being done, beautifully, romantically dressed, and you just go and lie down on it. And when it's scattered, you stand up. By the time you open your eyes again, it's all properly dressed. You lie down back on it. It's totally not true. So it's very important that you understand that that bed that is beautiful, that you love to have, you have to be committed. You and your significant other has to be committed to making this work. So it's very important you have that mindset that will help you get prepared before you step into marriage. Because when you start seeing this challenge or the challenges, it won't be like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting this. Like, what is all this? Maybe I'm with the wrong person. Don't be so quick to say you're with the wrong person. Don't be so quick. And in my own opinion, if you're married to the person is not a wrong person. But that's my opinion. But however, don't be quick to say this is a wrong person. It is just a reality of, okay, something needs to be done now. Something needs to be done. And it has to be done by two people. If you're used to my video, I like reading things out. So now, marriage requires efforts, it requires compromise, it requires problem solving, and expecting the butterflies, the perfection. And it's not ideal, it doesn't exist. And sometimes we have the mindset, some of us, those who are maybe in that first year stage of marriage, I'm saying this from experience, like from my work experience, it's more like you it can be quite challenging. It can be quite challenging, you understand? So if you're having that expectation of butterflies and all of that, when you see some difficulties, it can really set you back. But with the right mindset, you'll be more good to go. So have an open mind, have a kind of a problem solving mind when you're going into marriage, a problem solving, more like, okay, this is something I've committed to go into. This is something I've committed to go into with this other person. And with the hope of working it together, you're both going to work it together. And that's a very important, and that will help you know who to really settle for, who to really settle for. Because it's easy to get carried away with, let me say, young man or woman that showers with a lot of gifts, and it just appears to be so perfect, and it's more like, oh, this is so beautiful, I can't wait to get into the marriage. And with that mindset of expectation, it's already built all around it, and it's more like, I'm always going to see this. That's the Rosy I'm talking about here. You're not having that mindset that challenges can pop up, things can pop up. So it's important that regardless of how beautiful it's all appearing at the start of your dating, of your courting, or maybe in your early stage of marriage, or any stage of marriage, you can also be prepared to know that challenges can also pop up. Please keep in mind, I'm not saying this. Whatever I say regarding relationship, I don't come from an angle of an expert. I am learning. I'm still open to learning from you. So it's more like sharing the little I know while I keep learning as well. Yeah. Okay. So the next one is expecting, the next mindset that it's not healthy at all. When you're wanting to go into, or maybe when you're into the relationship, the committed relationship already, is expecting your happiness to come from your partner, to come from your spouse, from your significant other. That is a very dangerous mindset to have. Yes, there are times, of course, if you're in a healthy relationship, you should have time when you should contribute to your joy. This person does something, you're happy. You did something, this other person is happy, and you just have good moments that you both created together. However, relying on them entirely for your emotional well-being is unfair. It's not even fair to the other person, and it's not even going to help your own mental well-being, because it's an unrealistic expectation, and it's going to impact you, because it's not all the time that the other person, if it's not their responsibility, this is your responsibility. So if you're having the expectation of, oh, it's good to have a partner that always makes you happy, but if he's not, or she's not able to make you happy, you should be happy, and you should carry a sense of happiness within you to also light up the atmosphere, to also share to him or to her. You understand? And this can only come when you're not entirely relying on your partner for your happiness. So it's important not to go into a relationship, or not to stay in a relationship with that mindset. It's not healthy. It's just only, if I take it off, it's not possible for you to have 100% happiness from your partner at every point in time. He's human. She's human. She's got a life too. She's got herself too. She's got times of low. He's got times of low and highs. So it has to be a teamwork, two people coming together. So the next one is agreeing to everything. Agreeing to everything, even to your detriment. It's, yes, there should be agreement between couples, but also keep in mind, couples disagree to agree. What does this mean? The Bible, maybe I will have to use the Bible to explain this one. When the Bible says there are benefits of couple, there are benefits of the two, of that partnership, of that love, of that oneness. And the reason for the two is that when one is falling, the other can rise the other up. So what that means is there is an opposing force. Now this one is down, this one is up, this one is pulling this one up. But just imagine if this one is falling and the other one falls. That's the same thing that happens with agreement. When you see practical, practical something, maybe a suggestion, or maybe an activity, or something that this is going to be detrimental to you, or this is going to be detrimental to the relationship, it's important to talk about it. It's important to bring your opposing view. It's not bad to talk about but this is how I see it. This is what I think. It's not bad at all. So having the view of, okay, I have to just say yes to everything. I just have to say yes. My opinion does not matter. That's not true. And now, of course, there's a whole lot of teaching that even myself, I'm still learning it. There's a way of talking about things. There's a way of also opposing when you're talking with your partner. There's a way of bringing your opposing view. It's no more like you're shouting him down, whatever, shouting her down or shouting him down. More like a lovely kind of, discussion, talking through things. I hope you understand. Yeah, but the main thing I'm saying here is going into a relationship with the mindset of you have to agree in everything, and agreeing in everything. Yes, you have to agree in everything, but agreeing even to your detriment, agreeing even to your the agreeing everything I mean here, for you to agree that it's good for you to agree, is sometimes it's good to disagree to agree. Sometimes it's good to have opposing views and come to a point. Do you understand? But having that view of it must be one way, just the other person or your own way all the time, is very detrimental. It won't help the relationship at all. So the next one now is neglecting your personal growth. Neglecting your personal growth. Yes, it's important to have this view. Of course, a healthy relationship contributes to each other's growth, each other becoming a better person, a better version, and all of that. But it is not healthy when you neglect yours totally and just let it go and just focus on your partner, focus on something at your partner, and just neglect your growth. Maybe focus, it's good to focus on your kids, it's good to focus on your partner, it's good to contribute to their growth and well-being. But if you don't focus on your own growth as well, whatever that is for you, there is no specific, okay, this is the growth. No. What is that growth for you? What is it for you? So if you don't also find a way to strike a balance such that your growth is also achieved, that yours is totally neglected, you might end up becoming resentful. You might end up, you grow older, you're unhappy. Yes, your husband is a great achievement to have. He's a blessing. Your kids are a blessing to have. That's true. But your life is also a blessing. That is what's also enhancing. So if you go in with the mindset of neglecting your personal growth, it is not healthy. It's important that you stay curious. It's important that you keep learning. It's important that you pursue your passion. So a healthy relationship is where both individuals are growing, both individually and together as a whole. Both individually and together as a whole. Okay, the next one is placing too much appearance or too much focus on appearance. Yes, is appearance important? Of course. We all love someone that is good looking, beautiful, handsome. I do. Absolutely. And let me not say I shouldn't generalize for everyone, but most of us like someone who is all of that. And whatever that means for us, whatever the category of good looking, that is, that is dependent on each individual, different criteria. But we love someone that falls into our own criteria of this is good, this is beautiful, and all of that. So, however, placing too much focus on the appearance is very detrimental. So, why attraction is important, a long-term relationship is built so much more on character, compatibility, and shared values. Character, compatibility, shared values. Looks can fade. Yes, of course, sometimes they fade. But the connection, they do fade, even with old age. It does fade. It does fade. Not sometimes, it does fade. But the connection you share with, as you keep getting older in a healthy relationship, will only get more and more deepen. We get better, we get deepen, and you both will get to value yourself even much more the more time passes beyond the surface. So it's very important that you don't place so much focus on what wears off and put more focus on the most important factor, which is your values, which is the character, which is your compatibility. Is very important. Now, the last one I will be sharing with you today is neglecting the spiritual aspect of marriage. Neglecting the spiritual aspect of marriage. This is very crucial. And I had to emphasize this because there are so many beautiful relationships that has gone KY, that's gone separate ways. And believe you me, some of this relationship, when you sit down, maybe at the time when, the people are talking about the challenges, maybe the man is talking about his view, what happened, the woman is also talking about how she feels and everything. Sometimes you see that they are both coming from not really from a negative angle of hurting each other, not necessarily from an angle of hurting each other. It could be just that there is a misunderstanding, and that misunderstanding is something that they seem not to even comprehend. It's something that they can't understand. So when this person is talking, it's coming across negative to this other person. When this person is talking, it's coming across negatively to this other person. But there is something there. This is a beautiful connection. If I don't know how to explain this, but so many relationships have broken, and the reason is not because they are not good fit for each other. Is that there's a spiritual aspect of marriage. I don't know how I can emphasize this enough. For the fact that you're breathing an air that you can see makes you brings you to that point where you should ponder there is an aspect of relationship or marriage that you can see. So I don't know whether you believe in spirituality. I don't know whether you believe in trusting in God, in praying to God. I'm speaking from a Christian perspective. But I really encourage you to, give it a think. To, if it is something you've neglected, give it a think. Yes, I understand there is a mental aspect. Of course, I'm into psychology, mental well-being, and all of that. I understand that there are some mental challenges associated. Sometimes we hear about narcissists and all of that. There's a mental aspect of it. Yes, that study shows it over and over again, and I understand that well as much as possible. Keep learning, but also viewing it all together as maybe a mental health condition, or viewing it all together as it is that person's fault, might be removing a vital information of a spiritual aspect that is important to be addressed. And sometimes this spiritual aspect, you wouldn't get to know it until you personally build a relationship with God. You personally take your spiritual life seriously, where you pray about things so that you understand. There's a part of, the word of God tells us to pray without ceasing. And the praying without ceasing doesn't take away the aspect of knowledge, the aspect of science, the aspect of studying. Of course it does. Of course, in fact, I'm interested in these fields, and that's why I'm studying them. I'm doing research in them. However, it is also important that you understand that there is a spiritual dimension to these things that cannot be studied. It can't be put into writing. It can't be studied, to be honest. It's just like saying you have a dream. How did you have a dream? You can only say it's unconscious mind come into play. What do you know? You want to test anything in the dream? Do you want to run a test, a scientific test in the dream to understand what's going on there? You can do that. At least for now, we can do that. All right? So, your relationship, before you go into relationship, please, or maybe if you are in a relationship already, you're interested in, when I'm talking about relationship here, I'm talking about a committed relationship, marriage. You must, please, it's very vital that you take very seriously your spiritual life. Take it seriously. Sometimes the beautiful spouse, they were meant to be together. They are good together. Sometimes come to play that you don't understand what happened. What happened? It doesn't mean that the person is bad and the other person is bad. It doesn't mean that something came into play that is even beyond their understanding, beyond anyone. You just see everything as plated. That is where the Spirit of God can help the couples to pick out here. Your home is your responsibility. Your home is yours to build. If it breaks, it's up to you. If it comes together, it still lies on you. And that is why it is still you. If you spend time in prayer, it's still you that God is going to reveal certain things to. So that even though you're following things, maybe you're coming for counseling, for us to use some of the therapeutic techniques and all of that, which is helpful, very helpful. The studies are helpful. Or maybe you want to apply all the knowledge, scientific knowledge. Those are beautiful. They are wonderful. You also back it up with prayer. Prayer doesn't neglect you putting in actions, going to hospital, going to counseling, going for mental health, whatever it is. what prayer does is it also helps you handle situations that are beyond all of that. So please take your relationship with God very seriously. A mindset you cannot neglect. It's not all about the romance. It's not all about all you say. It's not. There are more forces. There are more things that control. More than what you can say. It's just a tape is only what you can say. Okay? So, your spiritual life, just to have a recap. Number one I mentioned was thinking it's just all gonna be rosy. That's a negative mindset. Remember, we're talking on mindsets to avoid for healthy, committed relationship. Number one is thinking it will all be rosy, a negative mindset. Next is expecting happiness to come from your partner without developing this yourself personally. That's a negative mindset. The next one is agreeing to everything your significant other mentioned without also, allowing yourself to discuss maybe your opposing opinions in a loving way just to balance things up or to come to a point. And the next one is neglecting personal growth, placing too much focus on appearance, and finally, neglecting the spiritual aspect of your marriage. Just as we wrap up, successful relationship, for you to achieve any successful relationship, it requires the right mindset. When you're avoiding this negative mindset, you set yourself on a path to a relationship that will be filled with resilience, that will be fulfilling, and that will be built to last. Why? Because you've done all your path, and where you fail, where your path failed you, where you're unable to go, the power of God, the presence of God, the guidance of God will help you. There's that aspect. And also keep in mind that all I'm saying, I'm not in any way pointing to the fact that relationship is about perfection. No, it's just two people who are still learning, who are still unlearning. Like I'm sharing this, I'm not sharing this because it's all I'm perfect. No. I'm still learning. I've got my mistakes, I've got my flaws, I'm still building, I'm still learning. Do you understand? So it's just not about perfection at all, but it's about progress, that meaningful progress you're making. So I hope you were able to get a ton of value from this video. Remember, I'm Godva. I'm a Christian counselor. So if you have maybe you have any relationship challenges, or maybe you just want to have a space where you talk through challenges and receive maybe support, Christian support, both therapeutic support, please, I'm more than happy to support you if you're happy to work with me. And remember, I make videos weekly on Facebook Live, so it would be good if you can come around, share your thoughts. What do you think, even after the video I made today? What are your thoughts? What do you want to share? I'm happy to learn from you as well. If you found the video interesting, please don't fail to give it a like and follow the page or subscribe to the channel. And turn on the notification, especially if you're watching from the YouTube, turn on the notification bell, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. The reason for this is so you get notified whenever I make new uploads. So if you would like to follow our Facebook page, you're more than welcome, so that you can also engage alongside when I make the video. I will see you tomorrow, which is on Sunday. Till then, remain safe. Take care. Bye-bye.